beginner's piano lesson, yeah, you always had a dream of wanting to be a keyboardist, a pianist, and the rest. Yeah, we have lots of videos out there today on YouTube that can teach you how to play and the rest, as you may call them. Um, Now, first, I'm not really going to be discussing maybe on some other videos. I'll discuss with you, ask questions like why do you want to learn? Those are questions that you already have. For you to come on YouTube to click on a video, it means you're interested in learning how to play this thing. Like you want to know how about this thing. But it is very important that you have a goal because if you come into this world, into this piano world without having a goal, you're surely going to start having problems. When you start having difficult assignments to practice, you're going to be discouraged and you're going to be like, I never signed up for this. So you should be really ready for this. You should have a goal, like a reason. Okay, I want to play for my church. I want to play for myself. I want to impress somebody or play for a family. But there should be a reason and there should be a goal. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Now, as a beginner, you've never heard anything about music before. There are so many things out there that you want to know. So if you should check this part of my page, you'll see that I have an introduction. This is a workbook written by me. So here I said what is music theory and why is it important and how it can help you. So I'll be going on this very fast. You can ask me for this PDF, I can send it to you so you can read through. Okay, so now most of us must have heard of music theory. Some of us we are excited by the sense that it is falling to us like music theory, wow, big deal, like that thing was sweet, that kind of thing. But it's not really something that hard that you cannot learn. When we say music theory, what would be my music theory? Theory is to know what you're playing. So e.g. if I should play a something like this on the piano, play something like this on the piano and you're able to tell me, as you can see, my app can tell you it's a C chord. That's a C chord. It's a C minor chord. This is theory. Like when you see it, you can tell, oh, this chord is a C major. Oh, that's an F major. Oh, this is theory. You know what you're playing. But some persons think theory is when you can play the big things, so maybe you can sight read. Yes, it is, but it is not that difficult like that. So that shouldn't discourage you. But it is very important that you learn theory. When you learn theory, you know where you're playing from. If you're on any key, if you're on F sharp and you're like, hey, go to the four, you know that's the four. Hey, go to the six. Hey, go to the two. Go to the five. Go to the one. Go to the source. No, this kind of things like you know what to do, like you're not confused. Why? Because you know your theory, like you know what's up, you know how it works. So that's the kind of theory I'm talking about. So it is very important that you know what you are doing. That way you can be directed. So let's move on. The next thing here on my page is music reading. Is it necessary? You having to take those notes and put in front of you and play like the classical guys. Yeah, if you're a classical pianist, you're surely going to be playing with a piece. A piece of paper is going to be in your front, and they call it piece, music piece. But like I said before, you coming to the keyboard world means you have a reason why you want to play. So it's either you're a gospel pianist, you're a classical pianist, you can be a jazz pianist, or whatever, or even a secular pianist. I've seen so many secular pianists out there and they are very good. They don't play in church, but they are very good. So music reading, is it necessary? Yes, it is necessary, not just the paperwork of sight reading. It is necessary in the sense that I'm in a group. We are playing song. Like we are still talking about the same thing, music theory. We are playing song. Hey, hey, and your music director is like, okay, you're going to the four now, but you're going to play it as a minor. And you get to the four, you're like lost. What was minor? What was minor? But on norms, if your music director says, okay, the song is God is able to do, God is able to do five. That's your song. Just what he says. That's your la. He will do five. And it tells you this time around, follow me, do. Get off of your soul. And it says, play a tour. You should know what a tour is. These are how musicians communicate in bands and group. When you see them using the ear monitor and the rest, they talk to each other, they communicate with each other, they tell themselves, oh, this is what we are playing next. On the interlude, on the verse, this is what we are doing. Why the people in the church, the congregation, they are feeling the music. Most times they really don't know the work that the musicians actually put in to get such result. But they put in a lot of work. So you get like they know what they're doing. This my 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 stuff here on this page. I hope you can see it. I think I wanted to make it very bold so we can see. Okay, that being said, let's move ahead. So music reading is necessary. Yeah, this is a beginner class, so you're going to take our time. So it shouldn't be bored to you. Okay, so here I have types of music instruments. You can browse this yourself. We have the strings instruments, the violin, the viola, the cello, the bass. We have them here. The piano also is a string instrument. As you can see, I added the piano. We have the flute here. We let me see. We have a flute here. We have these are the percussion instruments. Percussion. So when you hear of percussion, they're talking about the ones you hit. Yeah, your drums and the rest. So that's this is your keyboard and the rest. So I can send you this PDF. Here is just majorly talking about music instruments. So here I have music theory fundamentals. What is the sound, pitch, note, timbre, and tone. So I'll just quickly be explaining some, though not really all. As time goes on, yeah, some of my physical students, you already know as time goes on, anything that is not kind of um, understanding to you, I break them down, I repeat terms, I say things over and over again. Yeah, let me also make that clear. Don't be confused of the terms we use. Same way we have English terms, Arabic terms, whatever terms, we have music terms. You always hear sound, you hear pitch, you hear notes, you hear timbre, you hear tone, you hear octave, you hear half step, full step. Don't worry, you'll get used to them. In as much as you're in this business with us. And mind you, you cannot really get used to all these things in just a month. It can take you up to 3, 4 months, but chill, you get it. So here, what is the sound? So if somebody should ask you what is the sound, some persons will be like, yeah, that's the sound. That's the sound. If I should pluck my guitar string, that's the sound. Yeah, these are all sounds. Okay, now let's have a definition. Okay, sound can be defined as a mechanical pressure waves that travel through a physical medium like air or water. A sound is a noise, yeah. A sound is a noise. Something you can hear if you're in the right spot and when it's loud enough, that's the sound. You're hearing the sound of my voice. Sound has its own unique properties such as frequency, speed, uh, duration, and the rest. So I'll not really be diving much. Duration, like how long, the speed, how far, how fast was it? Yeah, things like that. So let's quickly move on. Now, what is pitch? Pitch is a specific frequency of sound produced by a vibrating object, such as a guitar string. Where's my guitar? So here's my guitar. That was like a pitch. That was a pitch. So it's a specific frequency of sound produced by a vibrating object, such as guitar. Now, we humans, we have the ability to hear a wide range of sound frequencies. Yeah, we can hear. There's some persons that their ears are very open. My ears are very open, especially to guitar. But reasons why I learned the acoustic guitar. Anytime it's played, it draws my attention. When somebody's playing it somewhere, it draws my attention, and I just want to play. I just want to listen. So we are able to hear sounds from a very far range. Now, musically, a pitch is like the harmonic value of a note, and it is said to be higher or lower than the other pitches. Well, I have other videos and I'm going to break all this down. So as your teacher, your tutor, I'm going to put you through. Now, in a sense, When you study harmony and melody, you also study pitch and its relationship. Harmony. What is harmony? What is melody? Now, in the simplest of form, I am one, I am melody. When we are two, we are melody. So, which means I can say, sing the melody of Mary had a little lamb. That would be mi re do re mi so mi re mi re do. That's the melody. I can say play the chord. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb is the chord. Mary had a little lamb, ah, la 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 la. So that's the melody. So when somebody comes out and say, I want to sing or sing a melody of the song, they're asking you to pick just the notes of the song. Mary had, or if they're asking you to play a chord like, um, yeah, sorry, not chord, harmony now. Harmony to harmonize. Harmony means more than one. So, which means instead of playing just one note, you're playing more than one note. Mary had a little lamb, a little lamb, a little lamb. Said Mary had a little lamb. His feet is white as snow. So that's it. So let's move on. Now, a note. Let's explain a note. A note is simply a named specific pitch with a particular duration. Yeah, so this is a C, is a note. So take note of this also. NOTE is a note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is a note. Hmm? Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. We have a lot of things. Okay, now I'm going to be talking about notes in music. Now, what are notes in music? Now, when we see music as a language, it is very easy to interpret stuff. Now, music are like the alphabet of a language. You see, the notes are simply the foundation of all music, and the same way we have our English language: A, B, C, E. When you add B, O, Y, you have boy. Yeah, it happens to in music. Okay, so now we have only 12 notes in Western music. Please pay attention. We have only 12 notes in Western music, which is historically derived from the European music, and it is by far most the most common music system that we hear today. Though there are other ones out there, like India, African, Chinese, and other traditional folk music, which are all different and they make use of different skills. But we're going to be using the European style. Yeah, this is Nigeria. Okay, so let's get on to it. Now, here you see, I said I drew something here. The 12 notes in Western music, they are as follows. Now, we use our English alphabet in music representation. Use our first seven alphabets. So, as I'm talking, if you don't have this PDF, I expect you to be making notes as you hear my voice. If you can see enough, you can zoom your phone or your laptop or however means you're watching, then you should please, because you really need to jot things down. Like if you really want to learn, you need to write things down. I have thousands of notes that I've been using. My notes are much. Okay, let's move on. Now the 12 note in Western music are as follows. We have the A, we have the A sharp, we have the B, we have the C. Oh, so sorry. Let me start with this part of the keyboard. Okay, now this part of the keyboard is one octave. So we have keyboards that are kind of long. We have keyboards that are kind of short. I'm trying to look for the best possible way to explain this. Okay, now remember I said we have 12 music notes. Now, so you see this particular, let me see, let me be sure we can see the screen. Yeah, good, we can see the screen. So you see the C, D, E, F, G, A, B now, and the other dark notes on top. This is like one octave of the keyboard, and if you should check my piano roll down here, or this you should check, you see that from this is like one, this is like another set, this is like another set, this is like another set, like that, like that. So this is like usually referred to one octave. So somebody can tell you, how many octave of keyboard are you playing? One, two, three, four, five. But this one here on my left, this is my left side. I can tell now. Okay, but this my board here that I'm using to write has just one octave of your piano. Has just one octave of your piano. So let's see. Yeah, yeah, have just one octave of your piano. As you can see the notes, we have a C, D, E, F, G, A, B. They are on the white notes. Yeah, if you are on this chord, it means you have your keyboard. So these are the white notes. Then we have the black notes. Don't be confused. Now, if you look at your keyboard very well, you will notice that these notes are there. They just repeat themselves over and over again. Hmm? So most of the time, your keyboard that you might be using will be starting from a C, which is this C. Hmm? Which is this. So this is a C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Then C again. Yeah, this is a C sharp or a D flat. This is an E flat or a D sharp. This is an E, F, F sharp or a G flat. This is a G. This is an A flat or a G sharp. This is an A. This is a B flat or an A sharp. Now they are all 12. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now these are the notes that make up the Western your Western music. That's the 12 Western notes. Yeah. Okay. Now there are a couple of things to note here. A couple of things to note here. Now, the notes are named after the first seven letters of the English alphabet. Yes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You should know that. Now, you should also know that there are also five notes line between those. Okay, let me not go through that yet. That might be confusing. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go here. Now, the distance between any of these 12 notes that are next to each other is called a half step. Yeah, you should take note. A half step. So the distance. So when I'm on C and I move here, that's a half step. Hmm? So from here to here is a half step. From here to here is a half step. So when I am touching each note of the keyboard, I'm moving in half steps. Hmm? Do you get it? But when I'm on the C, my hand is on this note. On the C, this is a C note, and I count to 1, 2, and I move to this D. Then this is a whole step. So you have to get used to half step, whole step, half step, excuse me, half step, whole step. So when I'm on C, and again, before you move on the piano, your hands are not up and you start talking. No, you have to be somewhere. Okay, your hands can be on the G note, and you say, and your teacher tells you, move a half step forward. That's what they mean. Another half step forward. That's what they mean. But if you're on the G and they say move a whole step forward, they're asking you to move twice. So 1, 2, and you go to an A. That's how it works. Hmm? Yeah. Hope you understand that. So now before we move to scales, I want to explain sharp and flat. Sharp and flat. You must have seen I don't know, let me look for these signs. Or don't worry, before the class ends, I'll remember to show you sharp and flat. Now let's move to scale. Now, if someone should ask you what is a scale, would you be able to answer them? Scales are very important, very, very, very important. They are the basis of melodies and chords. Yes, that's the melody. It is derived from scale. Okay. Now, if you're asked, would you be able to explain? Would you be able to tell what a scale is? Uh, if you don't, it means you'll be like a mechanic without his tools. So what are scales? So I have some definitions here. A good way to define a scale is to list the following characteristics. So one, a scale is an organized series of pitches. So this is how do re mi fa sol la ti do. That is a major scale. Don't get confused yet. This is a major scale. Almost everybody have heard of it. Like if you know, like you're into music, Why growing up you must have heard of Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Si Do. You must have heard of this Sound of Music. So do sa la fa mi do. They made use of the major scale. So let's not digress. Let's quickly move on. The scale is an organized series of pitches. They are organized, very clean. They are organized. They are not scattered. They are not. Some persons do that a lot when they put on their keyboard. They make noise. Mm-mm. A scale is organized. Now, a scale utilizes accidentals when necessary. Oh, okay. Now, on one octave here, on one octave, we have there are 12 notes. Those 12 notes are divided into two. We have seven naturals and five accidentals. These ones you are seeing, all these white notes, they are the seven naturals in an octave. While these black notes, they are the five accidentals. So, if I'm to recap, in Western music, we have 12 notes. We have 12 music notes, 12 Western notes. They're all the same, 12 notes divided into two. We have seven naturals. We have five accidentals. Oh, okay. So you know that now. Now, a scale consists of series of notes that differ in sound. Because your do sounds different from re, mi, fa. Like that's a scale. So somebody can ask you what's a scale. You can tell them, oh, a scale is an organized series of pitches, or a scale consists of a series of notes that sounds differ in sound. Yes, we have different kind of scale. A C diminished scale sounds like this. That's a C diminished scale. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. We've really talked a lot. We've really talked a lot. We've really talked a lot. So this is really for my beginner students, so which means you should have the whole time in the world to go over this. Now, it is very important that you remember this point. A major scale has eight tones. A major scale has eight tones. Just follow up. Don't worry. Even if you are lost now, later on you'll find yourself. Now, a major scale has eight tones. The C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. In other words, the C major scale consists of all the white notes from C to C. It's very easy. That's why most times people start learning from C. Very easy to learn. Even children, it grabs very fast. So it is very important